So, welcome to the Eskip's Corner. Hi, everyone watching on the intranet YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest.
So special.
We call him the Zeus of Berlin.
Haven't heard that. Haven't heard that before.
Never heard that?
No.
No. Okay, so I just invented that, guys. No, we have Giannis here from. You have many legs in the pot. If you, I don't know if you say that, but yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you say that.
Tell us, who are you guys?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm co-owner and head coach, if you want to, from CrossFit Icke in Berlin. And secondly, I'm one of the organizers of the Berlin Throwdown, one of the biggest competitions in Germany.
Which year is the Berlin Throwdown? This is the third edition?
This is the third edition. This is the second bigger
international
year. International year.
Because the first year was in Icke?
Yeah, exactly. The first year was just like kind of like an invitational at Icke, at our box, where we just invited a couple of boxes. And that was the feedback was unreal back then. Like what I did is literally just open up a Facebook group, or an event, I think it was, and apparently these events are public. Then like 20 minutes later, I logged into Facebook again, and it was flooded with messages from like everywhere, like all over Germany, even like people from Poland and whatever just contacted us, and so that was kind of the start of it, where we thought, okay, maybe we should.
Maybe there's a room for this to grow.
Maybe we should. Have it on a big stage.
Because we were there the first year. We were there when at Icke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we won. No.
We were there with kids and everything, and I think it was a very good. I would say it's the first one, but it's one of the best first events where the whole Berlin community got together, like people from different boxes saying, okay, let's create this community inside the city and everything. But then Berlin Throwdown grew into something way much bigger than that.
Yeah. That was the idea behind it in the first place as well, because you know how it is. Maybe now we meet each other through a podcast or whatever, but like I know maybe a handful of box owners in Berlin. We now have 20 boxes.
Yeah, roughly.
Who knows? Yeah. And I see those box owners never in Berlin, like maybe in Madrid on Meridian Regionals or some events, but like rarely we get to go to another box, train there, or like meet other people from those boxes. So the idea was to get everyone together and have a good time, basically.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. This we talked about that like. Our experience now in Berlin has been everyone is a bit like his. I think this is in many towns. Like many are seeing each other as competitors in one sense, and it's not necessarily has to be. I mean, we talked to Carl Dial here on the podcast and from CrossFit Solid in Stockholm. And in the beginning, they also had this but like everyone was trying to be
the more
the
customers in the place.
But now everyone, it's kind of everyone is full. So they are, and now it's more like I go train there, and they do things together, and I think that's also because there's only that many real estate. Options, same as in Berlin. The real estate options are really shrinking. So, but I think like we talked about, it's just great for everyone having a box in Berlin or whichever city, and you have a throwdown that attracts people from other countries, and especially like in CrossFit we think it's nice with the drop-ins. It's part of our aura to have like, hey, we have some new guys coming in from other part of the world, share your story, and by Berlin Throwdown is like a big megaphone for everyone in that sense.
Yeah, like I mean, everyone benefits out of it. I mean, the people that organize it, the athletes organize the whole community. Which we love the community word in CrossFit. Yeah. But I think everyone benefits out of it. It's a huge marketing for CrossFit because it's not branded the Berlin Throwdown Icke. So it's for everyone at the end. So everyone gets this huge benefit out of it. The more the brand gets to know, the more the sports gets to know, the better for everyone at the end.
Yeah. So, but before we really dig into the Berlin Throwdown things. Let us just hear your story. What's your sports background, for example? Where did you come from? Everyone comes from something.
Everyone comes from something. Yeah, I come from Bremen, which is a little city in Germany, and my sport background is connected to that city as well. I've always been really close to Werder Bremen, the football club. I never played football, but they have a big track and field club as well. Yeah. And so I was doing track and field from age, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something like that when I started. Yeah. And grew up there, basically grew up in the stadium, on those training grounds and around the stadium. And
which competition specifically? Which event?
I did hurdles, hurdle sprints. Yeah. Up until I was like 16, 17, I'd say. And then a couple of friends of mine from school, they played rugby in a club close to where we lived as well. And they got me into rugby, and then I kind of did both for a while, and then drifted more and more into the rugby thing, and started playing rugby then for, I don't know, age 16, 17 till 20, I don't know.
This is actually something I always wanted to ask people that do like running, just like you run a lap or something, is that because you have nothing to chase. Like in rugby, you have to chase someone. So it's a bit easier to see your target.
Yeah, or you're slow, and then you have to have a target to chase as well, which was my case. But that's true. But
because like, how is that going from track and field and you kind of stand there and you're getting ready to being like in a game where you have to run?
And the biggest difference that I noticed, especially in the beginning, you get used to it after a year or so, but my body just wasn't. I mean, my whole life I was always running forward. It was just forward. It would like set, go, go. Yeah. And I wouldn't even, because I was running hurdles, it was literally just forward. I didn't even have that slight little curve in the stadium.
110 meters at the top.
Yeah,
distance,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So when I started rugby, and obviously I had to run around people, or if I didn't want to go through people, or people would try to tackle me, shove me, whatever. Yeah. And as soon as that happened, I just fall. Like in the beginning, even the slightest little push, I was just fall over. And I was like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
Drama queen. It's quick as fuck.
Exactly. What the fuck is that about?
Pretty sure you were a winger, no?
Yeah, it lasted for like a year or so, and then you kind of get used to it, and then it got better and better. But it's actually true. I think you probably go a little quicker on the rugby pitch, even though you're not quicker because you can go quicker on the track and stuff.
How is it also the difference? I used to play rugby also.
Oh really?
Pretty rugby background back in Chile. But how is it from getting to athletics where you just run? You and yourself run 100 meters, 160 meters, or whatever the distance was, which basically you're a racehorse. And now you have to have like peripheral view. You have to watch around what's happening. How difficult is that? Besides of course the change in direction, which is a big challenge.
In the beginning, they'd always like put me outside on the wing. Like obviously you probably know if you come from rugby, like the new guy always gets like the wing position. There's not a lot he can do. You can give him the ball, he can run, and that's it. But you can't mess things up too much. So in the beginning they just like kick the ball and I'd just go straight because I knew if someone would tackle me, I'd be lost. Like I couldn't handle the contact, and. And then I evolved as a player as well, and got a little better, got a little bigger as well. They always tried to get me bigger and bigger, and then I'd switch to center and stuff. But yeah, to come back to the question about the like peripheral seeing, whatever you call it. Yeah, that was hard in the beginning as well. And when I was just on the wing, I mean, you get the ball, and in most cases you go.
Yeah.
You know, you maybe offload or something like that if you can. But
as a center, you're connecting everything.
Yeah, exactly. And as a center, when I got better passing skills and stuff, and got more of an understanding of the game, obviously, then I got better and could go into the center of the game. I don't know. Take part at the actual.
How long did how long did that time get to develop those abilities that are? I mean, you started playing at 17, 18?
Yeah, I mean, like two years, I reckon. Yeah, I was playing winger for at least 2 or 3 years, and then they moved me, to the inside.
Get more involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A new guy came into the club.
Yeah, exactly. New guy came in.
So forward.
He's still not very good, Giannis, but we've got this other guy who's really bad.
Yeah, you feel that from the below.
And the other one is injured, so it's just.
So, what made you then come to Berlin? The drugs?
Studies, actually.
Yeah.
I was actually going to study in Hamburg, but then cancelled it because I got a place over here on the HU.
Yeah.
And started studying biology for a year. And all my rugby friends from Bremen were here as well. So I just moved in with them, had a good time in like a huge place. 6 guys from Bremen. It was good fun, crazy times.
Years.
But yeah.
Biology for a year, and then?
Biology for a year, and then I started studying sports rehabilitation prevention in Potsdam. Okay. Yeah. So I just like moved back and forth from Berlin to Potsdam and so on.
Okay. Yeah, Potsdam is nice.
Yeah, so people who don't know, Potsdam is like, what, 35 minutes away from Berlin?
35 minutes.
It's like a satellite city of Berlin, I would say.
Yeah. No, it's it's very nice there. Small castles and stuff. And they're really good, like sports-wise. They have like all the Olympic training grounds from Brandenburg, which is like the county around Berlin, and the biggest training facilities in East Germany is all in Potsdam. So all the rowers, all the German rowers, all the like a lot of bobsleds actually they train there. The big guys who push the sleds. Yeah. It's kind of you have the benefits of Berlin, like the big city, the airports and everything, but you have like all the sports facilities and everything. It's much more, in condition in comparison with the Berlin ones. The Berlin ones is more like no, it's like if you build something in Berlin, it's going to be at least 10 bums sleeping at your location.
At least.
Yeah, and it's going to be dog shit outside the door.
At least they're fit bums.
But it's crazy. I mean, we have our location here. I mean, it's kind of downtown, but like this mentality in Berlin, I don't know. You compare with Bremen, but what I've been told is like there's no other city in Germany where people just leave dog shit on the street.
Yeah, it's true.
Moving to Berlin for me was like, I'm like, what's wrong with people? How can you even pick up your dog's shit? How can I
come from Chile, that's completely normal. So for me, it's no change at all. Like, this city's pretty clean. So I always see some pieces of dog shit.
No, I come from where everything just shines and glides.
Yeah, that's true though. How
did it go then afterwards? So you have athletics, rugby, sports studies, right? Yeah. Prevention, physio and everything. Yeah. No? Where then CrossFit comes in and the idea of our own box?
Yeah, so playing rugby, we always had our off season, and usually off season just meant for us just going to the gym and get bigger, just do like German volume squats and bench, something like that. And then a friend of mine told me that. A guy who plays at a rugby club or played at a rugby club here in Berlin as well, Leo, he opened up this CrossFit place and he might need some help. So we got in touch and I talked to Leo who owns Milio, the name of the place, which is still the biggest box in Berlin. And I started working with him, coaching there and stuff. He kind of introduced me to CrossFit, and from then on I kind of started doing it on and off, I'd say. Like I was still playing rugby, I was still doing loads of other sports in uni. But I did it kind of like, I don't know, once, twice a week. Yeah. And then I got more and more into it. Met other people, met Nico, who's now my business partner at CrossFit Icke, and Leo's as well. And yeah, from there it evolved, and it was always like, during studies I found that I never wanted to go too much into the therapy thing, because I think I never felt it was really rewarding. Like people often come, at least I think it's the mindset of people in Germany. They come towards you and they say, "Well, here I am, help me." Like
I'm broken.
Yeah, I'm broken.
Give me,
like,
yeah. Like
make me healthy again. I want to do everything in 2 hours again. Like, and people often don't understand that they have to do the work. They have to have the mindset and like keep working on their stuff to get healthy again. So I figured by opening a box or have my own place where people come and pay, they pay. I mean, they want this, so they'll do what I tell them as well. So, so that
and it takes a lot. I mean, from this kind of prevention. I mean, you work before. We were discussing this a couple of weeks ago, I think, with Richard, saying medicine is kind of focusing on the healing the patient instead of preventing the patient from getting sick.
Absolutely.
Which is the other way around to say it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also now, like, to get really nitty gritty about like prevention of injuries and everything is something I also got thought about through Kilistaret is the way of thinking of when it comes to movement, how bad movement leads to some kind of pain. And if you don't do nothing, you don't change your movement patterns, it's gonna get you an injury. Yeah, sure. And that path is, you have kind of a long way before you get injured usually. That's why most people, they don't, most people don't, how do you say, tear their ACL and stuff until they are in a certain age where they're so weakened and everything, and they think they can still play the sports they did as young and so on.
But it happens also that most injuries happen when people are coming back from an injury. You just think yourself, okay, I can do this. I used to do this. I used to bench press 100 kilo. I can do it again. But you haven't done it in 6 months. Yeah, but I can do it. Bam. So it's this mentality thing also. But prevention.
You should always be able to bench 100 kilogram as a fact.
Basic number.
If you have a bad day, go and bench 100. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Always do the 100.
Always do the 100.
Yeah. No. So you opened up the box there then, and how was it for you in the beginning? You had some traction from, because you were coaching at the other box between also, and you got some members with you on that. Yeah,
if you, it wasn't too many actually. It wasn't too many members who came with us, and people don't like me usually, so they didn't join us.
He's opening a new box. Yes, finally it's off.
Fucking hell! So waiting for that. I think our box is located really well, so that made it easy for us in the beginning. And it was, I mean, back then we opened up August 2014, so we were the, I don't know, 4th, 5th affiliate in Berlin by that time. And CrossFit was still relatively new and was kind of like hyping a little, so it was pretty easy for us to get a decent amount of members in the beginning. And since then we evolved, got more and more coaches, and then started to dig into other fields. Like, I don't know, I'd look into those events, like look at the big throwdowns throughout Europe and see how they are running things and stuff, to kind of evolve into that direction. that's basically what we did after we kind of settled into the box.
Yeah, and then you did as you told the Facebook event for more like an invitation, and but then last year you did it in the sports park. I always blank on the name.
Friedrich Ludwig Jahn.
Yeah, exactly. It's too many names.
It's easy.
Mama Park.
How can you blank on that? Friedrich Ludwig Jahn.
Yeah.
Old Friedrich Ludwig Jahn.
Yeah. FJK, no?
Yeah.
FLK. No, FLJ.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so...
something with that.
Yeah. So you got to that location. How did you get to that? Because it's a kind of huge location.
It's way too big for us. I mean, it's I think it's the second biggest after the Olympia Stadium in Berlin, which is a little outside of Berlin. Yeah. So I'd say in the city it's the biggest stadium. It has, I think, 22,000 seats or something. It's massive.
Yeah.
But what do we do? We just walked up to them and asked them, hey, could we do some CrossFit here?
Was there any chance in doing it in the Halle?
Yeah, we talked about that. We actually it was a conscious decision to have it outdoors because we've been to many throwdowns and competitions, and thing is, I still think that's true for most competitions. We've been all over Europe to, I don't know, Belgrade, London, Paris, I don't know, everywhere to competitions, but we never got to enjoy any of those cities. I mean, we've been there, we flew there, we got out of the plane, went to the location, warm up, do some workouts, fail, don't get into the finals, be miserable,
back to the airport,
plane, fly back. That's it.
Yeah.
And so we thought it would actually be nice to have an event that you don't get out of after 2 days and you're all feeling dizzy because you're always indoors and those artificial lights and everything. Yeah. So it would be kind of nice to be outdoors, and it would be nice to actually get to enjoy the city as well while you're there for a weekend. So what we did is, what we said is we'll do it outdoors and we'll have a one-day competition. So if people come here on a Friday and they leave on a Sunday, they either compete on Saturday or on Sunday.
There's a lot of information on the webpage right away that says come enjoy the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Come join. The location is very well located to other parts of the city, so you can just do A, B, and C.
Yeah.
It's always been like.
I mean, it's in Prenzlauer Berg, so I think if anyone would go to Berlin, you're gonna go there, and so it's kind of good place. I mean,
there are three metro stations away from Alexanderplatz, which is like a neurological point of the city. Yeah, they're pretty well connected.
Very close to Tegel Airport. To the main station. You get there really easy, and as you said, it's really close to Mauer Park, which is always for tourists. They always go to Mauer Park. Everyone knows that place, so. Yeah, for us, it's a perfect location to go there. Obviously, we're in Berlin and not in California, not even in fucking Madison or something.
You can see
exactly
pouring rain outside.
People looking at this video, they only see the bright side of the story. Outside it's like raining.
It's horrible.
It's very, very dark, and it's the middle of summer just started.
Yeah. So
it's better to race today.
That's a risk. So, but I think people can. I mean, we tell everyone, we tell all the athletes, hey, make sure you understand we're not in Rome and we might get rain. There's a good chance that we'll have rain, and so people can prepare, and that's it.
You just go away. I mean, you can always train in the rain.
You can always train in the rain. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it's raining,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you can fart and you can go.
Can I fart now? Too late? Shit.
It's live.
So what was I?
The rain. You can always train the rain.
Yeah.
Grip probably gets a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So obviously we won't do any crazy 30 bar muscle ups for time workouts.
Do you have like do you have like a B plan in case so you have the programming of the workouts and everything? Oh, okay. In case it rains, we just switch to that one.
In case it rains, we'll have 7 running workouts.
And burpees.
No worries.
Burpees.
A lot of burpees.
And burpees. Maybe throw in a wall ball. Not sure though.
It's mad to wall like slippery stuff.
That's actually a good thing. Is there some movement? I guess you won't give away entire event, but do you have one movement that you can disclose?
Oh, we will have wall balls.
Ready for wall balls.
Get ready for wall balls.
So just start doing Karen.
Have you done the qualifiers?
Yeah.
Have you seen them? Yeah. Yeah, nice. So we've done a lot of wall balls already.
Yeah, we did the qualifier here. Also, I didn't do it myself, unfortunately, but
I see you did.
We program it as a workout for the day.
Yeah.
30, 20.
Yeah, the first one was pretty rough.
Yeah,
I remember doing that. Because I do those workouts and test them in different rep schemes and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, that hurts.
That
was the only workout I did once, and I said, okay, I'm not going to change anything because I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
Not in any other rep scheme or case. Cramping quads all the way.
No, I was talking about have you seen Berlin Throwdown? How many Berlin athletes you have, or it's more Europe-based, German-based?
That's a good question. Berlin athletes, I'd say a handful, like 5, 8, maybe 10. Well, actually, there's a couple
out of a
teams
pool
now,
of
maybe 10.
And
10
the total pool of athletes
it's 240 athletes this year. Yeah.
And how many people were like, if you have that statistics sort of in the head, if you contra like Berlin contra outside Berlin?
I'd say
there's a lot of Polish names, right?
There's a lot of Polish names. Yeah, I mean it's close for them.
Yeah,
it's really close. And CrossFit in Poland is growing, huge. It's getting really, really big, and they've got some really fit people over there.
Yeah,
very strong.
Really strong people.
Yeah,
it's really cool to see. And like Berlin compared to Germany, I mean, I don't know. I just have to guess, but I'd say there was maybe like 50 people from Berlin.
Yeah.
On the qualifiers in total, and then obviously a lot of Germans. Like it's mostly Germans, but we have athletes. We actually have an athlete from Israel flying in. We have someone from Iceland flying in. All over Scandinavia, Spain, France. As you said, Poland, Czech Republic.
I know it's pretty short period. I mean, you have just one version before this one. Have you seen the trend of people growing, amount of people qualify and trying to qualify the workouts? Have you seen more people this year involved than last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's almost...
Very long question. Yeah,
that's fine.
It's completely between languages.
It's always... you've been quiet all the time, so I guess you just need to talk now. That's fine.
It's all I'm busy.
It didn't double, but almost, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like, last year it was 600-ish, and now we're on like 800-ish.
Yeah, very good.
Almost 900. So it's fine. Yeah, I think first year. Obviously is pretty difficult for everyone to. I mean, if I see a competition pop up for the first year, I'd like to kind of see how things work out. Are they doing it properly, or are they just, I don't know, taking the money from qualifiers and then, I don't know, dash off?
Yeah,
you know. There's a good chance that people do that. We've actually seen that in a few places. So. So first year is always a bit difficult, and people want to see how well organized the throwdown is and the event is, and how the event's looking, and so on and so on. And I think for the second year things work really well. So people have seen, okay, it was fun. It was a good competition. Things worked out. We were on time. We didn't have to wait all night to then start at, I don't know, late night or something, and then
also sponsors stay, so that means in a way they give you the background, like the top of the bag, say, okay, good job, we stay with you for next year.
It was really cool to see, actually. Like Our main sponsors, Reebok, is involved again. Xenios with the equipment, who are doing like an awesome job with the equipment. Then Foodspring, who are based here in Berlin as well. We're working really well with them. And then this year we saw that a lot of newer brands were coming towards us as well. Obviously last year we were like reaching out and say, hey, do you want to come? And this year,
the other way around.
It's the other way around. People are saying, hey, Berlin Throwdown, can we come? And how's it look? Can we like support you and stuff? So that's really, really cool to see. And it's cool to get that sense of appreciation of people, like that they say, you did a really good job last year. We want to be part of this. And that's really cool to see.
Nice.
Yeah, good gratification. And
yeah, absolutely.
Shows also like last year was also freakishly hot.
Yeah, the second day.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
So
teams the second day or individuals the second day?
Individuals the second day. We figured that the teams would probably be the ones who wanted to drink on a Saturday night. So, or at least if I'd be on a team, I'd go out for drinks on a Saturday night. So
it's always another guy that can take care of it. So yeah, you go fast. I just flag it.
Exactly. So we figured the individuals should go on Sunday and the teams should compete on Saturday, then have a drink afterwards. Yeah. We'll have a bar as well. There will be drinks.
What time does it start? This is for people to do. If you hear here, what time does it start on Saturday? So this is on the 20. I just forgot.
No,
it's the 8th. First weekend of July.
Yeah.
It starts Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday is the 8th of July, and then Sunday the 9th, and we'll start at on Saturday. We'll start 8:30. In the morning with the first heat, and then Sunday we'll start a little earlier at 8 for the individuals. We have new divisions this year. We have Masters 35 plus.
Go the Masters.
And we've got a scaled option as well this year.
Good.
Yeah. So we need a bit more time to get all those competing on the floor.
Yes. And who do you think is who are the top names to look out for?
Fuck, it's so hard to say.
Yeah.
We've got Kevin Winkens again on for the men's, who's been the German at the regionals this year. He won the Berlin Throwdown last year, so obviously he's in like a good spot to win it again. Who else is there? The male team is on again. Julian Reinhold and Jonas Schmidt.
Yeah,
they're doing it again, so we'll see how they do. The girls are back as well. The girls team from CrossFit Basel, Jessie and Alessia, who was on regional as well, doing really, really well. We were on the French Throwdown the other week with them. It was good fun meeting them again. So all the winners from last year are there this year, so we'll see how it turns out. I'd like to see different people win, because that would mean that my programming is not so biased.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
A lot of like tall man workouts.
Yeah.
A lot of wall balls.
Yeah, a lot of wall balls
and rowing
and some rowing in there. Yeah. Actually, should I just do this now so everyone's people are thinking.
No, he's standing on a.
I'm saying on a pedal. I'm really small, actually.
It's like from the Hobbit.
Yeah.
No, but you said I mean Kevin Winkens, he was the only German at the European regionals.
Yeah.
And I mean there were at least several Swiss at the regionals and a lot of Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Why do you think why don't we have any German top?
It's a good question. Let me ask you a question. Why don't we have a German CrossFit podcast yet?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, as you said earlier, we talked about this before we started here, that Germans are really, or at least in Berlin, is that way. You're from Chile and you have a hard time learning German because everyone's talking English to you, or Spanish, right?
Yeah. Said hello in a shop and you get hello back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Obviously, not all Germans, especially outside of Berlin. Berlin is pretty international. Do talk English very well. So I think those places outside of Berlin might struggle a bit more with the language barrier. So it might not reach everyone yet. So that might be one factor.
You mean the base of people is not big enough?
Yeah, I mean, we're the biggest country in Europe, so we should have a big base. But
and sports-wise, are pretty good. I mean, sports-wise, the German people are very involved with sports. They have good.
The Olympics is like
Olympics is very good.
Always look a third of the goals go to Germany.
Might be that the offer of sports is too big. You have so many options because you have quality facilities, quality coaching.
Point. I mean,
so I don't go to CrossFit.
It works like this: that you basically, if you start sports, you're going to a club, and those clubs are always, it's really cheap to join them. You know, you pay like, I don't know, 20 euros a month. That's already expensive for a club. Usually it's like 10 or something like that, and you get good coaches and stuff, and you do your sports there. I don't know, go to a track club or football or whatever. And I think people are not used to CrossFit. It's expensive for most people. Like it's, it's not a really, really cheap option to do sports. So I think, it's not available to everyone as well.
But it's still, I think it's like, it's not fair to take Iceland as an comparison, but still Iceland has like 250,000 people, 300,000 people, so their base is way smaller, but they have like all the top athletes.
Yeah, but
of course they had like they have some really good inspiration. So every grandma is doing CrossFit there, but still you have the other Scandinavian countries that are just have also less CrossFitters, but still produce more pros. Maybe it's I can't say why, because I don't think, like, I've been living in Sweden, I've been living in Germany. I know there's no difference in the milk in that sense. It's more of a mystery than something I can see.
What was I going to say? I had a really good point there to solve the whole thing, but now I lost it.
Other thing is that you opened Icke in 2014, right?
Yeah.
So you were the 4th box in Berlin.
I think so. Yeah.
Like 3 years later, they have 20 boxes in Berlin.
Yeah.
So the growth is
huge. Yeah.
So probably just have to wait a couple of years now to get more people involved. So we already have more people involved, and we have one superstar going up and then
absolutely.
marketing the whole thing.
At one point, absolutely. There you go. I also think that people, maybe it's because Germany's pretty big, like territory-wise, but you don't have a lot of really good athletes in one place. You know, you've got one athlete, Kevin Winkins is in Mönchengladbach, and then you've got, I don't know, like Joshua Wichtrup up in Flensburg and so on. Yeah. So they don't get to train together really often. So, and I think
guys,
that
you should train together.
You should train together. Yeah, I think that would make a huge difference if there'd be a place where there's like 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 good athletes, get them together and train together on a daily basis. That would make a huge difference, I think. Yeah, that's actually
probably one of the benefits they have the Scandinavian countries. They're more.
Well, still, it's like, territory-wise, Sweden is almost twice the size of Germany, so it's
true.
Yeah, but half of it is.
Half of it is countryside, but it's still okay. I see the point, and I think it's something in it. Probably the most plausible reason is something that you said, is that it started far more earlier in Scandinavia with the boxes. So there were already a couple of boxes open before the first one even opened in Germany. Yeah. So it's kind of, and it's maybe because of the language barrier, I don't know, or because it's so much more noise here. But Scandinavia is usually like a early adopter in any sports or any fashion.
Germans are very late.
It's always
very
like
skeptic.
Yeah, does it work? Is that something?
Who was
That's weird.
discussing this? This is very my foreigner getting view of Germans. The very old school.
Yeah. Really.
Why is it?
Why is it?
It's
always really.
I always compare like.
It's always very like they're really. I don't know why, but I can see what you mean. And they're always really skeptic of everything. Like everything new is always like, fucking hell, that can't be right. Yeah, you're doing something wrong there. I can tell.
We've done it like this. Very good. It has worked last couple of years. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll stick to that.
We've always done it like this, son.
It's very good.
But this actually it comes together with because if you look at how it is with like payment systems and everything, cash is king in Germany still.
Absolutely, yeah.
You go to the Scandinavian countries, nobody has withdrawn cash in years. Yeah. It's like, why? You use your phone, you use your mind to transfer.
Denmark was to be the first country no cash in a couple of years from now. That's a goal. So.
But I read an article about that years ago, and it has actually to do something with something from a legacy of the World Wars that people really had to, it was hard times. So you didn't want to have any assets that could go up in air. So you really looked for, you save and you go save. You don't go for credit, and you don't give a credit without a very good asset. So
going back to the CrossFit part of it. I know this history.
No, we're talking about World War.
We were talking about you were traveling a lot around different events in Europe, right? Bulgaria, Poland, France, you name. Have you seen the evolution of CrossFit in Europe? How is the evolution of these events, and also how do you see the CrossFit as a tournament, as a competition going forward?
The first event I went to was, I think, in Malmö, actually, in Sweden, and that was the first time I saw like a properly run event, and that was one of the better events I was witnessing as well. Even though it was in a box, it was not a huge location or anything, but it was just run really well. Everything was on time and so on and so on. 2-3 years later, I was in a competition I think it was in Belgrade, and it was horrible. We got there and we got to the venue, there was nothing in there, literally nothing, no equipment, and the first heat was starting the workout, and in the back of the competition floor, they were still like building the rig, and like, fuck, they're coming. Gotta go
so
quick.
The first
next.
First workout is gonna be burpees.
Yeah, exactly.
100 burpees for time.
Yeah, that was horrible, and they had a 6-hour delay or something, and they had to skip workouts because we were working. There was people working out at 1 a.m. in the morning and so on, and it was So I think, obviously things get bigger and bigger. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were at the French Throwdown, which, in my opinion, is actually an event so well organized, even better than the Meridian Regionals, I thought. Obviously, the regionals are bigger. There's more people there watching, more spectators, and huge athletes and stuff. But from point of organization, I thought the French Throwdown is like upper level. It's really, really good, really well organized event.
It's run by CrossFit Louvre, right?
Yeah. It's huge. They've got so many athletes competing. They've got a couple venues running at the same time. So it's really well organized.
It's like the Mardi Gras of CrossFit.
Of CrossFit. Yeah. So I think. And with the French Throwdown, I was there 4 years ago for the first time. Then I couldn't go, and then I was there this year and last year. And every year I could see how they develop and how they get bigger and how they pick up critique from the athletes and from the spectators and try to make things better for the audience and stuff. And it's really, really. I think that was. It's really, really cool to see, like how and I'd like to see where it goes in like 5 to 10 years or whatever. I think it's going to the right direction, but obviously only if there's support base and if you do things right on the basic level. If you just rent out a venue and then you wait and see what happens, obviously you won't do very well in the years to come. But if you plan right and you're doing things right from the beginning, then I think there's a lot of space to grow. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially my opinion is that now, if we look at Berlin Throwdown, this is one of our third most visited tourist city in entire Europe. So it's a huge way for people to actually have a good reason to go here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, if you compare this to like going to London or whatever, it's so much cheaper, and like things work well. Usually do, like with
usually do.
Usually it's good enough.
So to be
people, you don't come from Latin America. This city works perfectly. Let me tell you. I got people complaining about the bike lanes. Come on, people, you have bike lanes. So just be grateful. Yeah. Like Danish saying, riding a bicycle here is horrible. It's like, what? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's all about your
paradigm.
Yeah, what you're comparing with. No, but I think it's just because you have so much things to do here outside the event, and it's going to be interesting to follow how the event also develops, because I think it could be huge, and also to get all these to get all these athletes here also, and how it now develops the next year is going to be interesting.
Yeah. What you're saying, because what you're saying about all the big athletes coming in, what I'd like to see actually, or what we're doing, let's put it this way, what we're doing is we're trying not to attract athletes via a huge amount of prize money or something like that. Just because we've seen that if you do that, sure, you get like Matt Fraser signing up.
A-list.
Yeah,
athletes.
and then there's like,
gone.
why would you go? Yeah, it's cool to compete with Matt Fraser on the competition floor, but that's the only reason why you should go. Like, the whole competition is basically over, and so what we're trying to do is keep it a little the level maybe not on the top notch. Get like really good athletes from like regional level, but don't go to attract the big boys, because they'll just take the money and like, fuck off.
It's their livelihood, so they
absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a professional sport right now at the moment, so it's kind of a.
I just like to have a competition for
everyone has a chance to win it.
A competition where people can go and evolve,
But it would be cool if everyone signed up still and say, like, Matt Fraser would sign up now and like, damn, I want to see Berlin. And it's great. I heard about Berghain.
Oh, you're not allowed to.
I'm sorry, but those wobbles in the first qualifier, a couple of no reps. You're out, Matt.
Again. All right. So to wrap this up, Giannis, where can people find more information? If they're just
please subscribe to my YouTube channel. No, I don't have a YouTube channel.
Oh, so the naked ones are not from you?
No. That wasn't me.
So the Berlin Zeus is someone else. No.
Well, you can go to CrossFitIcke.com, check out our website. Also, Berlin-Throwdown.com is our page for the Berlin Throwdown. if you want to check out the event itself and you're close to Berlin, or you want to have an excuse to come to Berlin, come on the 8th and 9th of July, so that's in a couple of weeks. Fucking hell. No,
nice
not
week.
even a week.
Wow.
Oh no.
Stress.
Stress
is coming out.
I need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come by, drop by. Check
You're gonna be
out the
streaming
events.
the live streaming,
yeah,
no?
We'll be live streaming via Facebook, so you can check out from the couch as well.
From Marbella also.
Marbella, exactly. You on Marbella?
No, I'm gonna be here, so I'm gonna go there. Yeah. No, very nice to have you here.
Absolutely.
And, we wish the best of luck for the event, and yeah, we say bye to the listeners.
Thanks. Bye bye.